What's up, guys? All right, so these are timeless messages, so just take, it's a collective energy read, so just take what resonates. I want to paraphrase this, or quote, I guess, this song that came on called People Pleaser by Andy Allo, A-L-L-O, it's her last name. Okay, well, how's that? It goes something like, the chorus is like, I used to be a people pleaser, but I had a change of mind. I used to be a midnight teaser, but now I want to take my time. And there's like, the whole song is about how she realized that being a people pleaser made her fake. And anyway, a different thing. It's a good song. So I'm getting that kind of from the masculine perspective, that there's a lot going on in these cards, in this energy. So, I'm getting that there's a lot of like revelations coming from the masculine side, and they're realizing like maybe they've created some things, or there's some things in their reality that they're having to you're having to like take accountability for, or like come to terms with. But there's like, you know, depending on, I'm not getting like a negative energy from that, but like, you know, that can be very frustrating, but at the same time, it's empowering, because it's like, that's to me why like all of this goes together, of like, although it sucks to move through the pain and the hard parts, it's to help you to be able to create from a higher perspective, from love, from, you know, and that's the way that the masculine and the feminine can work together, is that it sucks to get a negative reflection from the masculine, hates that negative reflection from the feminine, but it's also I lost the word. Like a request. Thank you. Like a request to shift your perspective and to make some changes, or to get out of your head and back into your heart. Like there's different things. So it's like the feminine, when it comes together, and when you become more in tune with your own inner world, like the feminine just, we're just the mirror in that way. And so, and it's interesting because there's moments, of course, like of immense strength that it requires, and courage for both the masculine and the feminine in different ways. But like, it seems like there's just this commonality with like women jumping into this journey sooner, like the feminine. And it just, to me, goes with the whole like women mature faster, because I'm sure because we bear kids. I don't know all the reasons why, but like it's so the women have to keep holding this higher vision. So it's as much as men maybe hate when we give like an put our foot down, or like bring you our fire, or like whatever it is that you don't like. It's like, it's difficult it's not easy for us either. And it's not like, most people, I mean, some women maybe do like being catty, or being, what would be the word? Like, I don't want to say mean, but like being more aggressive, but it's like, it's not really a comfortable energy, I don't think, for anybody. Like being able to stay in that positive vibration, like everybody wants that, but it's just, you got to have the duality. So, because what I'm getting from the feminine is that there are a lot of like female empowerment songs, like, and the masculine I'm getting like is very turned on by the feminine right now, which is interesting. That's another thing that's interesting, is that like, what was the song? Bad Boy by Billie Eilish is such a good song. Wait, is it Bad Boy or Bad Girl? The Bad Guy. That's the song. She's talking about being the bad guy. She's playing the villain. And so there's times when like men are that's a turn on, when a woman like plays the villain, because it was like No by Meghan Trainor, great song. Run the World by Beyonce. I'm trying to think if there are any other for the feminine side. So like the feminine is very much like in her power right now, but in a like turning her back on the masculine, and the masculine's in this like, oh my God, I'm so turned on right now. How did I not, it's kind of like this like revelation, like how did I not see things? How did I not see all the ways that I was being a people pleaser, I guess. So it's just interesting because women just, I don't know. It's just like, there's so much of this, like holding this, like having these realizations, and then there's this kind of catch up game. But in the end, it's like, it all works out how it's meant to be. So it's like, there's these moments that are like very difficult and painful and frustrating, but when we can both open up to each other, it's such a beautiful dance to be able to do together. And, it's hard for everyone to face your shadow. It's hard to face your fears. It's hard to face your inadequacies, your flaws. Like all of these things are difficult. All of the things that you created that you didn't want to have in your life. Like, you know, these things aren't easy for anybody. So, I'm getting the men are in a good space. So I think maybe for the feminine, just like there's this Four of Wands out here. So like if there's a lot of like strife or like I'm getting like resistance. Okay. Oh, the other thing was that, like F you guys for real for like trying to like knock people down their confidence. Like, that's just lame. It's like, whatever. It's just, I get it. It's just a part of the game, but it's like, so I'm getting for the feminine is like, you're kind of in this like fed up position and you're like, okay, I'm tired of people like giving me backlash for the way that I look, for my appearance, for my beauty, for my energy, for my strength, for the fact that I keep getting back up. You're just like, fuck this. And, so that's kind of why you're playing that. You're in this villain like mode right now. And so then the Most High is like, the Spirit's giving like, really try to focus on celebrating how far you've come and how much you've been through, and like, don't give up on self-care. Cause there was a lot of emotional like vulnerability last night for me. And that like put me plus, I don't know what it was about yesterday getting off track. And then it was like, it's hard to come back around, but like you've worked really hard already on like creating these better habits. So just give yourself grace and give yourself time to kind of get back into that flow, and just celebrate how far you've come, because you're not always going to be in balance. Like you're not always going to be in alignment. So this is very interesting. It's interesting that where the masculines are. That's more the message. I'm getting more of that message. The cards are kind of all over the place. So, like there's a lack of focus. Finances aren't great. We've got the Emperor out here though. That's like I guess you're back in that kind of like Emperor in the Six of Wands position, that you're like, I'm ready to make better decisions is kind of what I'm getting. Like you're ready. And we had the Wheel of Fortune in this Four of Wands reversed, but then there's like these obstacles to get to this Ten of Cups, but it's like you're in this Six of Wands position, like ready to take action, like ready to like make decisions for the highest good. Another thing is that, and I got this from someone else, but it was like, one of the hardest things is all of the resistance that you get, or the lack of the people trying to knock you down, or like the lack of validation and kudos and, you know, respect, even sometimes, like just not being treated like you feel like you deserve. But when you remember that, like you're trying to choose the highest good for all, it's like, that's always going to be the thing that like pulls everybody up. That's like, there will be a return on that. It's just not in the time that we want to be able to see it. And also there's just going to be those people that they're not going to be with you, and that's okay, because especially if you're trying to move from a place of integrity, like of course we're not perfect. We're going to make plenty of mistakes, but it's like, you know, you're trying to move with your heart, and like from a place of love. Like you're not trying to harm, you know, people. So even if it's going against the grain, it's like you're coming from a good place. So some truths are going to be revealed to you, or you might be in this kind of like Ace of Wands, like space of clarity. Okay. So celebrate yourself, feminines, because that's where I'm in that same space too of just like, I always think of that song "No" by Megan. Just such a good song, "No" by Megan Trainor. Okay, that's another thing, is to help get you back into that place of like, enough disrespect. It's time for me to be respected. Like that song, saying no to people that are not giving you the reflection that you want, or saying, or like command, like how would you do that? Like pouring affirmations into yourself, or there's something about that that's like when, even if you're getting like nonsense from people, just saying absolutely not. Like I'm not accepting that. It's not that I hate you or that I think less of you, but that's not allowed in my space. Like there's something that's very empowering about that, because you're like, I'm not allowing anything that does not serve my highest good, that does not keep me in that queen princess energy, like whatever that energy is that makes you feel good. And there's something that's very empowering about that, especially with men, because it's like, I don't know, y'all. Like, I don't know. It's like sometimes when a woman gets like devalued to a certain degree, she gets to that place of just like, I don't even like, what is the word for it? Like, now I'm losing it. Now it's gone. Now it's totally gone. But it's just like, you're just like, just so over it. And, but you can kind of like you get to this place of just like disgust of like, I can't believe I'm not being seen or heard. I can't believe I'm not being respected. I can't believe I'm not being seen as like beautiful and amazing and whatever. And so it's like, but speaking that, kind of like standing up for yourself in that way and saying like, no, I'm not going to allow like, I'm not going to allow you to treat me this way, type of thing, kind of like snaps people out of it, especially if it's someone that does care about you. And then they'll be like, that will magnetize that like loving vibration back to you. And I think those are some of the most beautiful moments, when it's like you get surprised by someone like actually like bringing you something that you don't expect, like a very like doting kind of energy, and you're like, it's just not what you expect, and it's really beautiful. Because it's like, if you're just always being told positivity, then you just have a big, then your ego is really big, or then you don't appreciate it. So it's like, in some way it kind of all works out, because you're also kind of, it's I think of it, I like to remember that it's like, it's this game with the universe too, of like, okay, what are you going to accept? Are you just going to accept whatever we throw at you, like all this monkey energy? Are you just going to accept that? Or do you want something better? And it's kind of like that those tests are kind of that play of like, okay, what do you really want? So it's kind of, and I think of that with the masculine, they act that way a lot, of like when you like are in that moment of like trying to figure out what you want for dinner, and you're like, I can't figure it out. And men are just like, okay, well, I'm open, like, and you get like mad because they don't make a decision stuff. So I don't know. That's not the best example. But there's like playful ways to be in your feminine and be like, let me try to quickly think of like an example. I don't know. You have to get into that playful energy, whatever that is for you, and be like, no, you can't be around me unless you're going to be like sweet to me. And, you can just kind of be like playful about it, and instead of being like angry. And that also kind of helps shift the energy, and you kind of get more of that like energy that feels good to you. Okay. That's just what's coming through, y'all. All right. Love you guys.